Hey,
Hello, hello. What's up, buddy?
how you doing, man? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Yes,
We
Taco
don't
Tuesday.
we don't need to tease everybody about that. Taco Tuesday? No, we had what do we have tonight? Pot stickers.
Oh,
Sometimes you got to
close.
take a break from the Taco
That's like
Tuesdays.
Chinese tacos. There you go.
Yeah, something like that. Well, those Asian empanadas.
There you go. Right, what's going on, man?
We're having a good time. A lot of things. Today I don't know. Feels like a full day of semi revealing some of these
I
towns
know.
and everything like that. The monsters. Very
I think there's
exciting.
over like 20. I think today. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, big
Wow.
stuff. Do you want to go with the monsters first? Or you want to go with news? What do you want to do?
Sure. Whatever you got. You got news or you got monsters? Let's go.
I got a nice story coming out of Texas. Can you believe it? Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. Just in,
I
a
can't see
bill
nothing.
introduced
We
in
got.
Texas. You
We
can't. Oh,
got.
wait.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. I was excited.
There you go.
Um, so just in, a bill introduced in Texas to
Yep.
boost local Bitcoin, the
Yep.
economy, and protect the rights of the holders, the miners, and the developers.
Hmm.
So this bill went out there that the 88th legislature is protecting individuals who code develop in the Bitcoin network.
Wow.
Individuals who mine in Texas will never be inhibited. Bitcoin miners are welcome. Individuals who own Bitcoin should be protected, and no citizen of Texas shall ever be deprived of their right to own Bitcoin.
That's what I'm talking about.
Don't mess with Texas.
Good old
They
Texas.
are they are liking the Bitcoin right there.
Yep. That's why I love the US, man. Each state is an individual, little lab, and everybody can do their own thing. And that's awesome. Starting to see it from all over the country. What was it? Wyoming is a very crypto friendly place where you can spin up DAOs and Bitcoin and crypto companies. Yeah, starting to see a little bit from Florida with the CBDCs. That's one of the news stories I got. And that's awesome. Texas. I like Texas. Beautiful place.
And
I
look who
know he
showed up
likes.
to cheer him on. That's
I
right.
know he likes Texas. Yep.
And Josh also in the house. Let's
Let's
go.
go. Yeah. Right on.
Al is here. Good news. Yay, Texas.
Yep.
And the night owl. Give us
Yeah.
the scoop.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, no. Plus, Texas, beautiful place. Got coastline, has nice cities. I lived by Dallas for a bit, but that's awesome to hear, man. Hopefully it
Hmm.
passes. I don't see why it wouldn't. Right?
No, I think they're very Bitcoin friendly there. I think they tried to introduce it as a form of currency. I don't think that passed. That was a
Yeah.
little aggressive when we
Right.
covered that last year. But this is just protecting them, not making it a currency, but no problem.
Is that what you got
Gonzaga for
left,
the
Steve?
bees.
He's got Gonzaga. Is that all you got, Steve? That's all. That's Gonzaga's good though. Right on.
Go
Austin.
Austin. Got to get
Yeah,
back to Texas. Yes.
that's right, George. Absolutely. Happy Tuesday, Jason. Oh,
There it is. Honky
honky-
tonks, great music, and two stepping.
beautiful place down there. Loved it. This is awesome to see.
And
A lot of friendly people.
and
Yeah.
Ray, I'll say it for him. I'll say it for him. They have two kinds of music down there:
What?
country and western.
Country and a little bit of both. Happy Tuesday, Jason. Yes. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's what's going on. Thank you. Yes. It
Yeah,
is all
one up
entertaining.
for
Thank you,
Texas
Steve.
right there.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you did, Steve. You don't have Gonzaga? Because that's what's going on. We got the bees pool, right? I think the game start again Thursday, isn't it? I think it's Thursday. I didn't look it up.
Yeah,
My
they
bad, but I'm
run
pretty sure.
on the weekends,
Yeah, right. So
and then
it's gonna be fun.
the final game is on a Monday.
Yeah. I don't have
But
Gonzaga. It's always on a Monday, but I don't have Gonzaga,
right.
Steve. I don't know who has it. There's go Will. Will has a good one. UCLA. Right. There you go, man. But yeah, are you gonna show any of the monsters or you want me to just jump into my news and you're gonna save it the monsters at the end?
We can save the monsters to the end.
Right on, man. Because yeah, there's quite a few revealed today. I
Yeah.
like it. So let me jump in here and show because we got a lot of news going on there, Tim. First up, I like my memes, right? So let's start. Look, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing its thing. It is leading the pack, man. There's a lot. I forget. Hold on, never mind. But Bitcoin's doing great, right? But people can't. Bitcoin can't do that. I want one of them boats, Tim.
There you go.
This
That
Jeep,
must be in Texas.
I'm pretty impressed, man. That's impressive.
That's a Mercedes.
Look at bowling. That's a strike right there. Now this that's pretty solid. That's something. There you go. There's our guy. There's the
Monsters
Twitter. There's
Landing.
the head of Twitter. But it's doing its thing, man. During all this ridiculousness, there you go. You see Bitcoin just riding the wave. It's happening. So just like I said, a lot of news starting off there, Tim, with Sony. You ever heard of PlayStation, Tim?
Sure. Oh yeah.
So they had a NFT patent push suggests Web3 path for PlayStation. So PlayStation 5 makers stacking NFT related patent applications, Tim, pointing to a more open future for gaming giant. And I do want to read a little bit through this because we've talked about this when we were all going in with the Web3 and doing the spaces. And this is a big deal, man. And again, their main thing, it's not like they're creating NFTs so you can be a part of just the PlayStation network. They're doing all of the, things like skins, so you can remember when you do the fighting like Mortal Kombat, you can keep your moves from Mortal Kombat 4 to Mortal Kombat 5. You can take your moves that you've been earning to the next game. But it is a big deal. So no video game console maker has publicly embraced NFTs to date, but tech giant Sony, the firm behind the massively popular PlayStation brand, is making moves behind the scenes, as revealed by its latest NFT patent application. So they did this in 2021. And, Sony their intention is to create a standardized digital infrastructure that will allow gamers to own and transfer digital NFT assets across various video game platforms. And that's the thing. And that's like one of the main things we all been talking about because that's what happens when you're in a game, man. Even too, I remember from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, you couldn't even use the game itself, right? I think 4 to 5 did it, but you weren't even allowed to use the actual disc in the new version of PlayStation 4. That's going to be the big play with any of these games, man, where you can bring everything that you had accomplished in the previous games to the next one, and that's huge. Especially like I said, if you're not a gamer, you don't understand this, right? It's not a big deal to you. But for people who spend 12 hours a day and they're kind of leveling up, very big deal, right? Sony proposed that these assets could include items such as skins. If you don't know what skins are, think of like Fortnite, Roblox. They have different skins, different uniforms or clothes, artwork, avatars, weapons, or even video game skills. Additionally, the application proposed that they would could be connected over a network from PlayStation to consoles from other makers. So maybe, hopefully, that would be cool. Xbox, because right now you can't do that. You can't cross, any of that with the network via VR or AR headsets, smart TVs, and mobile devices. But I still think that that's what they're talking about: PlayStation and PlayStation, right? But they're talking about different things like smart TVs and mobile devices. Hopefully, someday you can, kind of do stuff with the Xbox and PlayStation together. 112 million PlayStation Network users, Tim. So that would be a good ad.
Nice.
That would be a good ad to the NFT because all it does is get them in right to the space. Not saying they're over in OpenSea, right, doing trading, but it gets people in this whole arena, and that's the whole idea. That's what adoption looks like. They won't even know it, right? People that are using PlayStation, they will not even realize that that's what's going on, right? So, like I said, it's a pretty cool thing. I was pretty excited when I heard it because this is Epic Games. If you don't know who Epic Games is, they are the creators of Fortnite. And that is a ridiculously, well, it's kind of toning down now. But like a year or two ago, Fortnite was it, right? My daughter plays it. It's just, that game makes ridiculous amounts of money every month because it changes, right? The land and the worlds change all the time. And the skins and the theme, right? Like I think when the Marvel comics or whatever, some comic book movie came out, they changed that whole theme of the game to X-Men, whatever the kind of comic book heroes were. Like I said, I don't know, I don't play the game that much, but I know my daughter was talking about it because she wanted to buy skins. So it's just a cool thing that is ever changing. And now, if you're able to kind of keep up and own these assets, that's the big deal. And it's also, Epic Games is killing it, but guess who's not? The people who played it, right? So once this starts happening, and now they're able to maybe sell their skins. It might be less, right? It might be less money, but they're going to be able to sell their skins or their moves that they or were able to make, or weapons, or whatever it is in the game, right? If they're
Well,
able to, go ahead.
I know I mentioned it before. My son had a Madden team,
Right.
and he won a ton of games with his team, and was able to sell his team when he wanted to move up to a different. So you couldn't take that team with you into Madden, whatever it is on now, probably Madden 23, right? So whatever Madden he had, he could sell that team, and that paid for, because he had a good team, it was a winning team, and they had all these plays learned and all that. Just what you're saying, they worked well together. So he was able to sell that team and then pay for his new game. And then, of course, he had to draft a new team, work out all new stuff. But he did have the rights to sell it, which was, I guess a step before what you're talking. Instead of taking that team and moving up to the Madden 23, you had to get a new team, but you were able to at least sell the team you had. So it wouldn't just die in the box, if you never played Madden 21 or whatever version he had. He did get to sell the team. So that is pretty cool. And, definitely makes it worthwhile when you put so much time in that you get a little something back for it.
And just to give you an idea, like I know that Fortnite, that was making every quarter, that was making like billions of dollars, right? If you know anything, like with a B. So this game, because everybody's buying stuff, everything that they can, especially the skins, that was making billions of dollars every quarter, right? It was a big one. This is a big game. So now, I mean, think about that economy right there, man. Just that alone. Think about, like it says, acquiring prestigious collectible items without the means of withdrawing them from the system. Now, imagine if they are able to turn that on and they are able to do that. The secondary market of all that, and that goes all to the players and the people who are playing the game. That's a big deal. And just like I said, think of that economy itself. It doesn't exist right now. Imagine people are able to do that. That's a whole nother set of always people, you see this stuff with AI and all this. Oh, it's all, what are we going to do for job? It's all taking all away our jobs. You don't know what this is going to look like in the future. And that's just a little piece of it. I mean, you know how eBay, people were selling on eBay. There you go. Somebody can spin up an eBay store for Fortnite, and now everybody's over there doing their marketplace and, selling their unwanted skins. So it's just funny. Like I said, it's very interesting because I have a PlayStation. That's the kind of the system I use. But it's cool to see they're starting to get it. But at the very bottom, I want to make sure, because the guy Grace Chen, he said it's definitely not NFTs. Definitely not. So I want to say how all the gamers not really kind of dialed in, are not fond of the NFT stuff yet. Because they're fans. Any gamers, they're a little different, right? They're loyal, and they're just different. And they will be. It's like I said, it's not an empty collection to be a part of the networking, of PlayStation, but they're definitely NFTs to be traded in the game. So that's kind of definitely what he's saying. But switching gears a little bit, Tim. And this is something here with IRS is calling for public feedback on taxing NFTs as collectibles. So you have until the 19th of June to submit comments. You can submit some comments to the IRS. That's up to you if you want to communicate with the IRS. But like I said, we've always kind of been talking about, this is an important thing for us. We're all in it, right? So you may not want to. It's up to you. But until additional guidance is issued, the IRS intends to determine when an NFT is treated as a collectible by using a look-through analysis, said the notice. Under the look-through analysis, an NFT is treated as a collectible if the NFT associated right or asset falls under the definition of collectible in the tax code. So down here, and I'll try to copy it. Right, let me get the link. But down here is the actual place that you can submit that stuff. Introduces a draft bill. Now here, right here. So let me copy it. Open link, and I won't put it in here yet. But that is how you contact the IRS, right? So it's important, right? You know, if we're all in NFTs, that's how they. Because look, you start talking about capital gains taxes on that. That's 28%, right? So however they categorize that, it's important. Yeah. Another thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like I said, this is another thing. I heard this. You were talking about Texas. This I'm going to play a little clip. We can listen. We can kind of give a little feedback to it. And this is Governor DeSantis of Florida talking about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies.
No, we cannot have that happening. And so that's why we're here today, because we've seen a lot of mismanagement from the economic central planners. It's just by nature. You cannot do this effectively without there being major costs to pay. And so some want to increase power to these organizations such as the Federal Reserve. And so last year, President Biden issued an executive order to explore the creation of a U.S. central bank digital currency, effectively converting the dollar into a centralized digital currency. And this is different than things like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. A centralized digital currency is directly controlled and issued by the government to consumers. And it provides the government with a direct view of all consumer activity.
Right. And listen, there's no difference. You know how the big idea with Bitcoin is there's 21 million, right? That's it, period. It doesn't make any difference if the Fed, starts having a digital dollar and they still have control of it and they can just, kind of spin up another 2 trillion digital tokens, right? We know about tokenomics and what that means, right? So just because we might have a digital dollar, it's not always just kind of, rainbows and lollipops. It doesn't mean it's just in our best interest. Oh, look, it's crypto. That's not what we're talking about here, right?
Well, they could do the same thing if they issued 50 trillion digital dollars and then just reserved 25 trillion and put that into the market, and then we need some more. Yeah, we have this in the reserves, and then just kept pulling them in and pulling them out. That way, adding liquidity and taking it away. But then it's the same thing as them printing it now.
Yeah,
they're in control. How much how tight they want to make the money supply. So it doesn't matter whether they go, oh, we're just going to print more. Or we're going to, if they're in control, they're in control. Not your keys, not your crypto.
That's right.
And if they're going to go, oh, now there's more, now there's less. Now what you have is worth. Everybody's going to get and figure that out. What most people don't realize is that the dollar fluctuates in value. I mean, we have inflation because they pump money in and take money out. And that's why eggs now are $7.50. Chickens haven't changed in the last, time I checked. So, it's just how much money's in the system and how much money's taken out.
Right.
All right. Supply chains and whatever, but it's primarily because of inflation and how expensive that is. And so they're controlling how much money's in the system, which affects the prices of things. But I can see his point there, though, that if they're essentially ruining what's going on with the fiat money right now, why would you give them an opportunity to move into the future with more control over a digital dollar? I mean, if you just blew up the thing that's been working for the last 200 and what is it, 25 years?
Yeah,
35 years. But you don't give them more control over the next great thing. I mean, we've already figured out how it works where nobody can mess it up. So why don't you just go with that?
Well, and they're directly in control of what inflation is, right? I mean, everybody understands when they raise interest rates, it was like sucking back all the money. They started sucking it all back, right? And then all of a sudden, just like a flip of the switch, they just printed a whole bunch, the other, and it's just like that's like a 180. Now that injected a whole bunch of dollars back out there, right? So control. I mean,
Will's adding in. I'm sure the Fed will burn tokens like bee honey.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's anybody at the Fed like me and Ray just
Nope,
burning tokens by the billions.
And that's a good one, Will. I got some little more here till 6.
So this is something that is being proposed as somehow being environmentally sustainable, way to increase access to consumers who lack the means to join a traditional bank. But as we've come to learn, any way they can get into society to exercise their agenda, they will do it. So what the central bank digital currency is all about is surveilling Americans and controlling behavior of Americans. And how do we know? Because we've seen this happen in other parts of the world. Look at no further than China to see the impacts of centralized digital currency. The People's Bank of China uses its central bank to monitor citizen behavior, allowing for the surveillance of spending habits and to cut off access to goods and services. You also see things in the Bahamas, where they've instituted caps on CBDC holdings and transactions. In Nigeria, central bank capped ATM withdrawals to forcibly push the use of their digital currency in lieu of physical currency. And I don't even need to think here, what are they going to want to do? These ESG factors. You go and buy gasoline. If you bought too much gasoline, they just won't allow you to use this to make a transaction. Who knows whether they would let you buy a firearm.
ESG is environmental, social, and government, right? So just let you know.
Or things that they disapprove of. And so you're opening up a major can of worms, and you're handing a central bank huge amounts of power. And they will use that power. I think if we've seen anything over the last 4 or 5 years is if they can do their agenda, they will do their agenda in any way.
It is, and that's it's like I said, it's not one way or the other. It's just that is a big deal. I mean, when you start going down that path, it's I hope everybody sees it. And that's why I said I'm not trying to, because both do this, right? They both parties like to start controlling, and one seems like it does it by war stuff, and then the other one does it by kind of social type of things that's right here in your own country, right? But this is just going over here. I went over to Harvard Business Review, and they were talking about what's the catch with this CBDC. And just like he said, it's not without its problems. One obvious risk is to privacy. A number of U.S. lawmakers argue that China will use digital wands for domestic surveillance. I guarantee you, I know that is what China is going to do, okay? Central banks increase control over money issuance and gain insight into how people spend their money, but deprive users of their privacy, right? Again, I hope everybody understands how important that is and why. Like I said, I'm not trying to go all the way into this, but I pulled this up because this is Cornell Law School. Do we understand? I mean, that's why we live in a pretty awesome place, right? I love that we live in this country. I mean, we are very blessed that we live in a place that set up a system like this, because we have a Fourth Amendment, and it secures us from unreasonable searches and seizures. And there you go, just searches of property by the government. It protects us against arbitrary arrests. Here you go. It also, regarding stop and frisk, here's another one. Any wiretaps and other forms of surveillance. When you start creeping down this creepy road, right? Every time, I don't care. It's like I said, it's not purposeful, but anybody that has power, they always try to get more power. That's the goal, right? I mean, that's what they do. It's just normal, right? It's because humans are humans, and that is what they intend to do. So when you start and you're not understanding how important all of this really is, it's a very, very, very big deal, right? It's like, for me, it's like the main reason I do this, right? I like to help people, but this whole thing, this is what I look at, is I didn't think that there was any other way out of this, right? Because I would always look at our national debt. I would always look at where this is going, where this seems like more and more control, seems more and more centralized, when this country wasn't built like that. it was built into the 50 states, right? We have different states that can do all kinds of different things. And that's why it's so important, right? We are kind of the last really, only country that was ever built like that, where we do have rights. And it's not that those guys are in charge and they tell us what to do. That's not how this is all is. It's a republic. I know people throw democracy around a lot, but this is a republic. We charge them to be voting and doing what we say. And that's the big deal for me. Because if we don't start standing up and really taking this serious and start taking action, and everybody here, where I'm speaking to the choir, but we need to start really, go and show. You can show a friend that thing with the governor. Usually it's very hard. Sometimes I go on rants all the time with IRL people around here, and they're like, oh, there he goes with the crypto. But now you can show that it's being talked about by leaders in government. This is going to happen. We've been talking about this for 3 years, that this is going to happen, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. But they're going to try to put their little, greedy mitts around this thing. And no matter what, it's great because we're free. We're able to do this decentralized way. And if this happens in this country, then it happens. But again, this has always been my reason of really why I think this is so important and why I spend so much time doing this. I know, it's cool that we're a part of an awesome ecosystem, but for me, this is a big deal because I don't want anything where you start getting the creep of well, I don't know what you call it, just not of a republic, of what this was built. You want to get back more freedom, then you keep giving these people control, and it's important.
Yeah, the overreach.
It is the overreach. They do it all the time, right?
Right.
So last one, and this is I got this. This is Charles Hoskinson, and he had a very cool take on what's going on as well. So, like I said, this is just good content that these people are putting out.
And you know what's happened?
Hey, if you tell me too, I know that the auction is coming up. Should I just hold up?
You got a minute and a half. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll play this. Tell me.
The governments are coming in saying crypto caused this problem, not the trillions of dollars of money printing, not the fractional reserve banking system, but crypto caused this problem. Not the rampant corruption, not the nepotism, not the U.S. warfare culture that we've had, 9 countries over the last 23 years, $15 trillion in wars. None of that has anything to do with it. Not shutting down the entire world for COVID. No, none of that has anything to do with all of this stuff. No, not at all. It's obviously a market that's less than $1 trillion, crypto. That's what caused all these problems. So go look at Bank of America's unrealized losses. It's $113 billion. Look at JP Morgan Chase. It's around 40 or so billion dollars. Go down the list of your bank. Google your bank unrealized losses. Take a look where that sits. And you realize how quickly a bank run can occur.
It is. That's crazy, right? And then just jump in when you switch it over, Tim. But yeah.
If you pause it right there, we'll just watch this 20 seconds and we'll count it down. 6:55, 6:45, 6:35, 6:33, and 6:31.
Oh.
So the checks are on sale since last week when they were averaging about 700. So that's a good deal to get in there. Obviously, these don't have empowerment fees.
No.
Some exciting stuff going to come about with the check marks. They're probably going to reveal into something pretty exciting. We don't know what, but I'm sure it's going to be something very powerful.
Yes.
So there you have it. Auction closed out. Very cool. We'll go back to your
regularly scheduled program.
There you go. And Scott McHenry says the same reason, Ray. I love crypto.
Yes.
So he doesn't want the overreach.
Absolutely.
Susan saying great info. Thank you. So yeah, if you want to go back to we'll throw Charles back in there.
Yeah.
And if you want to play some more him, go right ahead.
It is, and I'll stop. I was going to still talk about right there. I mean, just be prepared, and that's what they're doing. You see what they talked about Signature Bank and Silicon Valley because it had USDC coin. They tried to blame a lot of that garbage on crypto, and that's what he was saying. $1 trillion market cap of crypto caused all of this meltdown. It's ridiculous, right? So be prepared. That's why you need to be, filled with knowledge and understand what's really going on here. It is important because again, this is the thing that's going to save the finance. I mean, I believe there's a big like I said, it's going to be a big switchover. And I don't know if it's going to be mainly in the CBDCs or hopefully these people get their brain twisted on right, and they really do see the value with this decentralization, right? So there we go.
Realize how quickly things can change, just like that. The powers that be, they try to look for a scapegoat and blame that and say, well, this person's responsible. We're not. We're the solution. We've been cleaning up the mess and trying to get rid of the contagion that is fractional reserve banking. It's just that simple. You cannot base a system on a lie, on a fantasy, and then expect that system to be stable. Every time they fail, you and me and everyone else in the United States and the world has to pay for it. And every time they succeed on our backs, they get the money. And then they use that financial power to buy up media and to buy up politicians to convince you that somehow they're virtuous and moral. They never have been, they never will be, and now is the time for people to really start having that message break through. We're going to live in a world where these banks don't exist in this format anymore, because you know what? The solution to this upcoming banking crisis that's happening is too big to fail plus, plus, plus. The same group of people, ironically the same, Janet Yellen and these others, who told us that 2008 will never happen again, we fixed the problem, are going to lead us to a series of bank bailouts and consolidation and backroom deals that are going to make these too big to fail banks 5 times bigger. We're running out of money to socialize these losses.
And it is crazy that they, they did say that in 07, 08. There was never anything that was fixed. It just made them too big, too much bigger, right, to ever fail. And
if they thought they fixed it, just to interject, if they thought they fixed it, why did they build a huge slush fund to bail out the next guys that, this is never going to happen again, but we're going to create a couple $1 billion fund so that, we can take care of people when they do go south.
Right.
That's a great thing.
And literally Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever he is, whatever group that is, whoever that is, right? That is literally why Bitcoin was created, because of that, because of that whole collapse, because, and it's crazy that it's coming around again, that these things are, you see it. I mean, they're still happening. People don't know what Credit Suisse in Switzerland. They just got gobbled up, right? This is happening. And that is what all of this stuff over here in the decentralized world, specifically, again, the Bitcoin blockchain, that is why it was built, right? Is to know that there's only 21 million of those tokens, right? And you cannot, you can't change that. That is not going to happen. So it is a store value. That network is a decentralized supercomputer all over the world, and you can't fiddle with it, right? It's pretty amazing, and it's transparent. That's the other thing with CBDCs. That's that transparency. Same transparency that they're talking about with Bitcoin. That is also going to be in whatever the Federal Reserve, so they can see exactly what you're buying. That's why I'm talking about that surveillance stuff. Yeah, they'll talk about it. It's a great thing until, like we and Tim joke around, until you want to buy a pizza with some pepperoni, right? Until they start connecting it with your insurance company, until they start putting it all together with all these different pieces. That's where it's crazy. But once that happens, that is the type of system you're looking at, right? And again, last but not least, I'm not going to play it because it's all in Russian, but I wanted to, this happened today, right? This is March 21st, 2023, right? De-dollarization and internationalization of the yuan. Putin heralds that the death of petrodollar and the birth of the petro yuan. Already 2/3 of Russia-China trade happens with yuan and ruble. Russia will use Chinese yuan to trade with Asia, Africa, and Latin America. The enormous hubris and ignorance in the Washington bubble is astounding. All the sanctions and warmongering are just accelerating the death of the dollar hegemony, which underpins American. It is. That's literally. I mean, our dollar is. That's the big deal. Is our dollar is pegged to the oil, right? And it's always been why we've been, the superpower, right?
Right.
So big deal.
If they don't want to use it anymore, then the demand is not there.
It is. That's a big deal. And I know people see that and think we're going to moving all this electric cars and wind, and not there yet, right? We're still using oil. Maybe especially in the U.S. we might be doing a little bit more of that, but I guarantee you, India, China, Russia, they're using oil. Okay, so it's a wild thing that we're in and living. It's amazing kind of time to live in, and I'm like I said, I'm excited. That's again. Hopefully people start really plugging in and dialing in, right? Yeah, man. Look at you. I see what you got there.
Here we go. We'll just we're running a little bit over, but no big deal. We'll just look at a couple of these because we've learned that these are in slumber mode. They're in their hibernation period from when they arrived
30
through
days.
the portals, and sometime within the next 30 days, these will awaken. And we'll get a good look at them. So, but we can. What we know now is that if I open up one of these, you'll see that this Pucker Ridge is from the United. It's in the United Kingdom.
Oh, the UK.
So you can go and take a look at these in the Monster My City collection on OpenSea, and of course, let me just say this again: monstermy.city is where you can get all the links, right? If you wanted to summon a monster, if you want to follow it on OpenSea, or if you want to follow the Twitter account, which we all recommend, you can follow along with everything that's going on through the story. And then this one is going to open up hopefully at some point today or soon. But follow along through the story and use this as the official links. Just that's always the most important thing, so you find the right collection, because already there's multiple collections up here trying to play off that they're monsters. So you have to get to Monster My City.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one was pretty cool, from the United Kingdom, and that will what was the trade on that? Zelatorians.
Ziltorians.
I got to get those names down. A Zeltorian, and what was the population? This is only a 3,500 in the population there, just over 3,500.
It's like my town. There you go.
Yeah, and then there's a Facebook user. There's the link: Monster My City, monstermy.city.
Hit the back button. I saw another cool one. If you.
Oh yeah. Let me go back. We'll pop in to check out a couple.
Look at Scotter. Look, Scotty. They got a Scotter. The far right big guy.
This Scotter. One. Let's see where he is.
Scotter.
Scotter is another United Kingdom.
UK. Look,
2,800 people in there, and he's an Olgamith.
Oh.
Olgamith.
Yeah.
Very cool. So again, these traits will reveal when they come out of their slumber. You got equipment, headwear, necklace, intel gadgets, an outfit, a realm. We talked about that a little bit. Was they gonna, I don't know, team up or something?
Yeah.
Their skin and then transforms. That was another big one.
That's cool.
It's got some kind of transforming capability. I mean, this is going to be cool. But yeah, that's the Scotter in the United Kingdom. Let's go back and see if we'll pick out another one. We didn't pick out one of these guys.
Warsaw. Oh, okay.
Hold on. Legend Lake. It sounded like a good name. United States. There we go. Okay. 1,500. Another small town. It's not Legend Lake. We're going to have to hit this button and go and find out. Now I'm going to copy the coordinates.
Yeah, I wonder where Legend Lake is. Anybody know?
Straight there. Legend Lake.
If you know, throw it in the comments. I want to hear it. Oh, it's you don't know yet. It's in the middle of the lake. How do people live in the lake?
There's the lake. Sand Lake, Legend Lake. Coming out. You know where this is yet, Ray?
Excavate. No, Thunderbird. What the heck?
Wisconsin. There's a clue over here, right? Here. It says Wisconsin.
I'm not looking at it. You should have.
I know you're looking at the map to see if you can recognize a big lake, but there it is. If you saw Green Bay, you'd be like, "Oh yeah."
Wow.
So right there outside of Green Bay, Legend Lake.
Legend Lake.
Very cool.
Cool.
So yeah, some fun stuff. You can track down these monsters, obviously coming from all over the world. Yeah, let's go see how.
Oh, there you go. It is Cheesehead territory. You got to just go back. Hit the back button twice.
I thought I did.
No, you hit apps or some other. Hit the back one. And then Warsaw should be somewhere down there.
This one.
There he is.
That looks like a Warsaw. So this is Warsaw in the United States is a different town.
Oh, look at that. 1600.
It's in the United States, but it's got 1800. It's got 1695 in there. So yeah, let's go find out where this is just for fun.
Real quick. And then we'll wrap it up.
Yep. Warsaw.
Get to click it on there too. So we get some of that stuff open. We gotta where do we think?
Ohio River.
Oh, Kentucky.
Oop.
Oh.
There we go. Kentucky.
Wow.
Get a little bit of that. There's Warsaw, right outside Cincinnati.
There you go. Warsaw, Kentucky.
There we thought we had a.
I did. I thought we had
major city.
That's a big city, you know.
I thought there was a P2. There was a couple P2s in the group there, but we didn't see what level. Can't tell. Let me go back a couple times here. Or no, we got to do this. I couldn't tell before they went off. You could tell if it was a green or a blue, but you can't tell now.
Yeah, none more. But that's good. There's a lot of cities, man. A lot of towns.
Here, this one is 6 ETH. This must be something good.
Oh,
As a clue for you.
scroll
What is
down.
that? Angleton? In the United States?
20,000.
1904.
Wow, that is a
And they
P2.
won.
Yeah, same
So-
P2.
Yep. So there you go. It's got almost 20,000 population, and that's a P2 city. So that's the blue capsule.
Blue
not the
capsule,
green
United States got just under 20,000 population. Wow,
There you
super
go.
cool. Right on.
And he's a Zillitorian.
Ziltorian.
Ziltorian. I'll get there.
It's all
Ziltorian.
good. But
Yeah, there you have it. Check out the every day. What is it? 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m.
8 a.m., 8 p.m. Yep.
All right.
Cool beans.
Very nice.
Appreciate
very nice.
everybody. Yep.
All right, then we'll take that down. And tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we'll be back. We'll do it again. We'll check out the reveals, and we'll go over that. Angleton, Texas P2.
Oh, Scott. Nice.
All right.
They are super cool, Donna.
Super cool.
Yes. Cool stuff, man.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Get people to, jump in here who wants to talk about the monsters. I'd love to hear your ideas about the stuff that's popping up all over the world.
Yes.
Show up every night. Bring a friend.
Absolutely.
There you have it. All right, Ray. We'll do it again tomorrow night.
Later, man.